Recap City here. In today's video, I'm going to show you an American action thriller from 2021. Sit back, relax, and be entertained. The movie opens up in Aleppo, Syria, where a team of Navy SEALs ambushes some military personnel. Their goal is to free a CIA operative who is held captive by the Syrian army. Later that night, after they are briefed on the mission by Agent Ritter, they proceed to infiltrate a Syrian safe house to rescue the CIA operative taken hostage. As they got inside the safe house, the Navy SEAL team took down some Syrian gunmen who were already at the location to safeguard the hostage. Just as they had cleared the area from the Syrian troops, Kelly finds out that the gunmen were ex-Russian army and not Syrian as Agent Ritter had claimed. As the heat of the shootout increased, one of the gunmen used an RPG to attack the Navy SEAL team, which made them lose balance. Kelly gets to find out that the place wasn't a safe house but a Russian arms depot. During the rapid fire, one of Kelly's men dies from the shootout. The team manages to rescue the hostage as a helicopter comes over to pick them up. Kelly complains to Agent Ritter for not briefing him properly on the mission just as an airstrike bombs the Russian arms depot. 3 months later, in Washington, D.C., Kelly organizes a party with his pregnant wife. They discussed his retirement from the military with a friend, as well as his new job as private security. Meanwhile, one of Kelly's teammates on the mission in Aleppo decides to take his trash outside his house, when a van runs him over leaving him dead on the street. In the next scene, another man, Keith Webb, could be seen talking to his wife on the way home from a boys' night out, when a man gets out from the back of the same van that ran the previous man down. He steps out of the van and shoots Keith severely till he dies. Back at Kelly's apartment, after he had sweet-talked his wife to bed, he proceeds to go listen to music in the basement, while his wife was asleep. Some group of armed men infiltrate his house and then cut out the power supply. While Kelly was listening to music, he notices that the camera had been shut off due to the power supply, so he becomes suspicious and then decides to investigate. When he hears some unusual sound, he quickly reaches out for his gun as he proceeds to find out what was happening. Meanwhile, the gunmen go over to his wife's bedroom, where she was sleeping. They shoot her severely as she dies on her bed, also killing her unborn baby. Before the gunman leaves, one of them shoots the other dead and then leaves his dead body in the bedroom. Kelly, on his way to go check up on his wife, finds 2 gunmen and then kills them. He comes across another man, as he shoots him severely, leaving the last man injured. Before the man escapes, Kelly gets a quick look at the man's face. Kelly, who is badly injured, then crawls with pain as he screams his wife's name. He goes over to her bedroom and then noticed that she had died. Kelly is rushed to the hospital due to the multiple bullet wounds he sustained. On the other hand, Agent Ritter briefs the team on the ongoing situation and about the team attacks which involved Kelly and the death of his wife. Maximum security is already provided to the rest of the team members on the mission at Aleppo, who are yet to be attacked. Lieutenant Commander Karen Greer wasn't happy with his speech, so she proceeds to confront him as she feels there was something else Agent Ritter wasn't saying. He dismisses her, saying they would look at every possible scenario to find out if her men were dirty. Kelly finally regains consciousness as Greer goes over to visit him. He sobs as he remembers the death of his beloved wife and unborn child. He tells Greer to give him the name of anyone that was involved in the murder, but she has no name and wouldn't even give it to him in his present condition even if she is one. He tells her about the 3rd gunman that he met in his bedroom. He is surprised as he didn't have anything to do with his death. While Greer was in her office, the Secretary of Defense Thomas Clay came to visit her. He asks about John Kelly and if he could be trusted. Meanwhile, Kelly continues his exercises until he gains full recovery. The Secretary of Defense sets up a meeting with Agent Ritter and Greer. He had come to ask Agent Ritter to brief him about the current situation. Ritter confirms that the attacks on the Navy SEALs were based on paybacks and they all had a connection to the mission at Aleppo. He continues by giving out their profile, saying they are all Russian nationals. Greer goes over to meet a grieving Kelly. She tells him about the discovery and the chief of intel who issued their passport. Kelly notices that the 4th man's profile was missing. So he decides to go meet Vasiliev, the chief of intel, and other to force out information from him. Kelly goes back to his house, which is still under police investigation. He sobs as he gets drunk. After weeping uncontrollably, Kelly takes out a pistol as he goes over to Vasiliev's base. He acts drunk as the security team there chases him away. This didn't stop Kelly from tracking Vasiliev's car. He calls the cops for them to stop one of the vans that escorted Vasiliev's as he is suspicious of their movements. Just as the police cornered Vasiliev's men, Kelly hits Vasiliev's car. He steps out of the car as sets the car on fire. In the burning heat, he goes inside the car, kills the driver, and then holds a gun to Vasiliev's head. He orders Vasiliev to give him the name of the person that murdered his wife and kids, but instead, Vasiliev tells Kelly that death follows him wherever he goes. Becoming impatient, Kelly shoots him once until Vasiliev surrenders by giving up the name Viktor Rykov. Kelly shoots Vasiliev in the head before some police officer comes over to arrest him. Greer goes over to visit Kelly in prison. Kelly tells Greer that he discovered something, and if Secretary Clay wants to know about it, he has to get him out of the prison filled with Russian mobs. After Kelly is taken back to his cell, a guard orders Kelly to come to take a trip with him, but he refuses the offer as he isn't told where. Moments later, armed guards enter Kelly's cell, but Kelly is already on alert as he prepares by jamming a sink to drench the floor. He fights with the armed guards until U.S. Marshal Kevin Townsend comes to his rescue. He brings in a phone call for Kelly. Greer then assures him to go with Townsend because she trusts him. In the next scene, Kelly meets up with Greer, Ritter, Clay, and Sarah Dillard. In the course of the meeting, he identifies Viktor Rykov in a photo set before him. Kelly is set to join the team in capturing Rykov, but Greer considers it a bad idea. She suggests that Clay wasn't in the right state of mind. After much deliberation, Clay finally agrees to allow Kelly to join the extraction team to capture Rykov from Russia, with a condition that he must complete his jail terms. The next day, Kelly and Greer fly together with a Black Ops team as Ritter refused to go with them. On the journey, Kelly opens up to Greer. He tells her that if he hadn't been on that mission in Aleppo and had pulled out one tour earlier, he would still have Pam and their baby. Just as they are preparing for their halo jump, Russian fighter pilots intercept their plane. They tell the team to divert and abort their mission, or any other move from them would be considered hostile. The Russian fighters then fire a missile at them, striking the wing and sending the plane crashing into the sea. Some of the teammates are affected due to this casualty, while others manage to make it out alive. Kelly is then rescued as the team then takes off with a boat to meet up with Agent Ritter. Kelly becomes angry and then confronts him over leaking their information, which could have been why the Russians knew where to detect them. The two then got themselves involved in a heated argument. Ritter tells him that he is also trying to get to Rykov and he isn't responsible for the intelligence leaks. After the team had settled their differences, they proceed with the mission. They hunt Rykov to a building. As they got to his base, Kelly keeps the team out and then decides to go on his own to finish Rykov himself. He finds out that Rykov is strapped with a suicide vest. Rykov tells Kelly that they are both pawns working for the same king. He reveals himself to be a deep cover agent with the CIA. After the discussion with Kelly, he activates the bomb as he blows himself up, which causes a massive explosion. Just as they are trying to regain themselves, sniper men begin firing upon the team, killing one member, Dallas. Police also arrived on the scene. As the team hides to fight back, they discover that they were set up to get caught, which would trigger the Americans into initiating a U.S. Russian war. Kelly then offers H sacrifice himself as a distraction to give the team an opportunity to escape. He draws away the police from the team by going to the roof. He takes out the sniper men. He shoots his way through. In the heated gunfire, Kelly manages to set up an explosion that brought down all the officers that were after him. He quickly steals an officer's uniform to escape. He takes an ambulance and then meets up with the team. He reunites with Ritter, who tells him to fake his death as it was the only way of getting him out of the mess. Kelly returns to Washington and then finds Clay in a restroom. He captures him and then drives away with him. Kelly threatens to take out Clay's family until he discloses that the mission was initiated to start a war with the expectancies that a new Cold War may strengthen the U.S. economy to unite the country against a common enemy. Just as they are talking, Kelly drives the car off the bridge, with Clay, who is handcuffed. He tells Clay to call the name of his wife before he drowns. He watches as Clay gasps for air. Kelly prepares to die as well. In a trance, he sees a vision of his wife. She assures him she is always with him. Days later, a funeral is being conducted for Kelly and his wife. But then it is revealed that Greer had come to rescue him from the water. She takes Kelly to a train station so that he can start a new life. He is even given a new identity by Ritter, John Clark. In the end credits, Clark meets up with Ritter a year later. He tells him that, to prevent future disputes, he suggests a team with the user codename Rainbow. The end. If you love this video, please leave a like and subscribe.